Honestly, I think most of these tips are a secret because when I first started AI video, I really had to do a deep dive into understanding how to create a consistent look when it comes to creating video and photos inside of an AI model. My first tip is to find a software that works best for you. And if you are serious about AI photo and video content, I highly recommend you checking out a software which is going to allow you to work in a node-based workflow. Now, when it comes to node-based workflows, there are a couple softwares out there. First off, you have Figma Weave, and then you have Comfy UI. You have Higgsfield. Higgsfield is kind of new to the node-based game. And then you have RunwayML. Now, Runway is the software I really enjoy using. Now, let me show you what is so powerful about working in one of these node-based workflows. So if I create a new node, you can see here on my side that I have access to a lot of different video models, and I have access to the top models, right? So I have Cdance 2, and I have also access to Kling, and then even image models, right? I have access to Nano Banana, I have access to GBT Image 2, and inside of Runway, I can really start building a whole node system, and I could use all these different models. This is an example I created using Stereo Coffee. And you can see that workflows do get a little bit complicated, but once you start understanding a workflow, you'll start to understand that this is the best way to create consistent work. And in order to create the best work possible when it comes to AI photo and video content, you want to be consistent across all the content that you are creating. And this is going to be the perfect way to do so, is using a node-based workflow. My second tip is really understand the models that you are working with and experiment with them so you know what model works best when it comes to each case study. So for instance, when I'm working with a product that has a lot of text, I'm probably going to use GBT Image 2, or I'm going to use Nano Banana Pro because I know they're going to do the best job at retaining that text on a product. But if I want something a little bit more realistic, I'm probably going to lean closer to Nano Banana Pro because I know that's going to give me the most realistic look. And once you start testing out all these different models, you're going to figure out what AI models work best for you. And when you are working in a node-based system, you can actually put the models up against one another and run multiple prompts to see what's going to give you the best results. So my third tip is to stop using just text prompts. This is really like guessing. You're playing the AI lottery here. You might get something cool, but you might not, and you're going to go through a lot of credit if you're just using a text prompt. So what I highly recommend you doing is to use a text prompt and put that text prompt into an LLM such as Gemini or Claude, and to give it some reference images to work with. And this is going to give you the best prompt possible. So for an example here, I'll show you what I did with this Stereo Coffee workflow, right? So I started off with a text prompt, but my text prompt was going into Gemini. So I started off with write a JSON prompt for a realistic photo combining the coffee bag and reference image 1 in a similar setting as the kitchen and reference image 2. The photo is captured with a full frame camera at 35mm f1.4. The focus is on the coffee bag, right? So my text prompt is already very specific, but Gemini is going to take that a step farther, right? Because I created this reference image of the coffee bag, and then I also have my reference image of the background of the kitchen. So I fed that into Gemini. So you can see by taking all this information and putting it into Gemini, I was able to create an even better prompt. So now it says realistic photo of Stereo Coffee Roasters, Colombian pink bourbon coffee bag in focus, displayed on the counter of a modern kitchen with dark wood cabinetry and also a green tiled backsplash similar to reference 2. So it is going to take my references, and it's also going to use this new prompt from Gemini, and now I'm going to feed this into a photo model, and you can see these are the two photos I was able to come up with inside a GBT Image 2 and also inside a Nano Banana 2. And this is going to give you that consistent look that you are looking for. So I highly recommend you using an LLM when you are using your prompts, and I think you're going to get some better results than just using a text prompt. So my fourth tip is to create a reference image or a reference plate. And this is so important because this is going to allow you to give the most information to that AI model in order to maintain a consistent look across all the content that you are creating with it. So if you look at this workflow here, you can see I took a photograph of the front and the back of the mug, and this way the AI model knew what all the different angles looked like. So when it was creating content, it kept that consistent across the board. And you can see that here in this Cdance video I was able to create because you have the graphics on both sides and it's a consistent look, where if I just gave it one angle, it wouldn't necessarily know what the backside of that product looked like. You're giving all that information to the AI model for it to understand. Now that leads me to my last tip, and my last tip is consistency is key. I know we talked about it a couple of times throughout this video, but when you're creating AI photo and video content, you really want to maintain a consistent look across all the photos and videos that you are creating, especially if you are working with a client, right? They want to see their product and that product showcase the exact way the product looks in real life. Now, giving that reference image and using the JSON prompts really is going to help you maintain that consistent look, and I highly recommend you going that route and really learn how to create consistent looks across the board. And also, this is so important if you are creating content surrounding a product, is you want that product to look the same in all the photos and videos that you are creating. Now, this is what's going to separate you from an AI hobbyist, right? Anyone can take a text prompt, put in a nano banana and create something cool. But if you know how to work inside of these different softwares and use workflows to your advantage, you're going to be able to create that consistent look across all the content that you are creating. And this is really going to help you stand out in the AI video and photo content creation world. Now, if you are looking for your next step, I do highly recommend you checking out my channel. On my YouTube channel, I'm constantly sharing different tutorials and techniques I use to maintain a consistent look when working inside of Runway. So if that's interesting to you, I highly recommend you checking out my other videos, including this one where I really break down the different workflows inside of Runway. And if you're not already, please subscribe to my Substack. It's kobalecki.substack.com. Over there, I am sharing a lot of helpful techniques and tips on AI photo and video creation. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'll link those right there. And if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments section below. Please like and subscribe to my channel because you know it helps my channel grow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.